Okay, so welcome to a Car Talk Wednesday. It's November 6th, 2024. Yeah, I don't like how that feels. I don't like how that sounds. CTW, CT dubs, that kind of rolls off the tongue. Don't like it as much as CTT. This is not something I plan on doing regularly going forward. However, I know that tomorrow is going to be a very busy day. It's going to be a very emotionally draining day. So I just kind of wanted to go and do the video today. This might just be a pretty emotionally draining video. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be straight up honest right now. I did not have a good week. The past few days, pretty much since Friday, it's been kind of dog shit for a few reasons. First and foremost, I don't know if you can tell, I'm not in my car. I'm in Clay's right now. My car has been in the shop since Friday. I talked about it in the Thursday video that I was having a weird problem with the car. And then about Friday evening, the problem persisted multiple times in a row. I'm like, no, I cannot drive my car anymore. So I immediately took it back to the house. Then on Saturday, I took it to the shop and they weren't able to get much momentum done on Saturday. They were closed on Sunday. Monday, they weren't able to get anything done with it. Yesterday, they were able to kind of figure it out. So I am expecting within the next, hour and a half-ish, I will finally have my vehicle back. It's just one of those things that's very frustrating, not being able to have my car. I can't, you definitely lose a lot of freedom, and I've really felt the cabin fever the past few days. Another thing about the past few days that's really sucked has just been the weather. Like right now, it looks pretty as hell. It's very green, it's very bright, the sky is a nice blue. It has been miserable. It is the weather the past few days has looked the way I imagine Eeyore feels all the time. It's very gray, it's very gloomy, it's been rainy, there's just clouds everywhere. It sucks. Because I haven't had my car, I haven't been able to go to the gym the past few days. So my exercises come via walking, and I love walking. I love taking long walks. But a couple of times, it has started raining while I've been in the middle of a walk. I'm like, I guess I just have to deal with this now. And I'll be honest, it's not awful walking in the rain. It's not like pouring. It was kind of a nice little drizzle. I didn't mind it, but walking in the mud fucking sucks. Then it starts getting uncomfortably cold. A few nights ago, I was borrowing one of the family vehicles. And sure, I could have been driving that to go to the gym, but I genuinely don't like driving that car. It just feels weird. So I was driving at night, because I was like, look, my cabin fever is really bad. I just need to go out, drive around the lake. And as I'm doing so, the windshield gets super foggy. I'm like, oh, okay, I got to turn on the air. And, the exhaust, or not the exhaust, but I don't remember what the fucking thing is called. But I got to turn on the thing and then turn on the thing so it could start unfogging the windshield. And I don't know where those buttons are on the car. So I'm like, okay, well, I have a hand. So I start wiping off the windshield and it works and I'm able to see. But I'm wiping so vigorously that I end up hitting the mirror and I knock off the mirror. It does not shatter. We're able to get it back on. I'm like, what the fuck? What is going on, man? Let's see. Let me actually look back at my notes. What's some of the other shit? That was, honestly, the car and the weather have been a big one. Another thing was for a few days, I'd say about Friday, Saturday, Sunday, maybe Monday as well. My body just hurt, specifically my thighs. Like, they felt very tight, very achy. Like, I could not get up and move. And not even just, like, work out, just standing hurt. Walking around the house hurt. Like, man, I know I'm getting old. Like, my knee is always a piece of shit, but fuck, man, this is so ass. So one thing I've done a few times during storms is, like, just recorded the lightning, because I like watching lightning. As much as I don't care a whole lot for rain, it kind of depends on how intense the rain is. I fucking hate tornadoes, but I love thunderstorms, and I love lightning. And something I've done a few times, like the lightning is badass videos, and I tried to record one, but we weren't getting a lot of lightning at my house. It was like, all right, here's a flash, and then a minute later, another flash, instead of the more kind of, in a minute, here's like 10 flashes of lightning kind of thing. It's like, man, even the storm isn't that good. Like, what kind of shitty week is this? Brought that up. So let me go ahead and start talking about some of the nice shit that happened. I caught up with my brother. I haven't talked to him since May. And I remember back in May, I kind of was telling him, I was like, all right, this is where I am right now. Here's kind of my roadmap and my plan for the rest of the year. Letting you know how that's going. It's like, here's some of the projects I wanted to work on. This one's really close to being done. This one I haven't touched in a while, but it's kind of going. I'm taking a break from it to work on this one. The bar was one. That's how that went. I wanted to try streaming. That didn't work because, like, my equipment actually malfunctioned. And while making videos has slowed down, I'm still doing it and I'm still enjoying it. And it felt really nice to catch up with him. And on top of that, I caught up with another buddy of mine from high school and undergrad. Ern, if you're watching, hey, how's it going? And that's been really nice too. Like, we hadn't talked in a couple of years. It's not like we had a falling out or anything, just kind of lost contact. I was like, man, I haven't talked to him in a while. I want to see how he's doing. And it's been really nice catching up with him too. Let's see. So I finally got back into playing Wukong. So I finished chapter 4. So I fought the Scorpion Lord, who was hard as fuck. Really fun. Then the boss of the secret area, Duskvale, I think was its name. It's the skeletal blood mist bird thing. And I fucking hated this boss. Like, I just did not find this fight particularly fun. And then I did the boss of the chapter, who, he was fine. I didn't love him. I didn't hate him. It was better than Yellowbrow, whatever the fuck that guy. I hated that dude. So now I'm on chapter 5. I started it today. I went from... Wait, did I start that today? No, I take that back. I think I actually started it yesterday. But between today's session and yesterday's session, I'm on the third cart because I just fought the dude who makes the giant catfish. That was actually a pretty cool fight. It's one of those fights where I think the fight itself was decent. Like, it was pretty decently fun. I just love the visuals. I thought it was so fucking pretty. But that's going good. I am glad I am getting back into the game. That was another one of my frustrations, was just how much trouble I was having with some of the fights, but you know, I was able to get progress, able to do some good shit. I watched The Wild Robot and I made a video on that, and I'm so glad I made a video on something that wasn't just a Thursday video. It just felt good to do that again. I think on Halloween, Clay and I watched Blair Witch. It was both of our first time watching it. I don't think I'm gonna do a video on it. Maybe I should. I don't know, because I really enjoyed it. It's a movie where I more or less knew what was gonna happen. I knew about the ending. The ending's pretty well known. I liked it. I honestly had a really good time with it. I think my favorite scene in the movie is when Josh is recording Heather and he's like, okay, here's your motivation. Give me this. And Heather's just like crying and trying to keep it together. And it's the last line he says to her. It's the, so you're gonna write us a happy ending, Heather? And when Clay heard it, he was kind of like, ooh, like that felt so harsh. Like, what a dickhead. And for me, it was more of a, that felt genuine. Like, that didn't feel like a, like, man, I'm so mad at you. And almost more of a, we're going to get a happy ending, right? Like, we're going to get out of this, right? I really enjoyed the movie. So, I finally finished Kendrick. I listened to the last 2 mixtapes. It was C4 and Overly Dedicated, I believe. And I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed them quite a bit. Like, I kind of got to that point where I'm like, I'm really glad to just be done with Kendrick, because that was a lot of Kendrick. But I genuinely really like Kendrick, so I had a good time with it. But I am kind of glad to be done. So now I have to focus on finishing Kanye. So in terms of studio albums, there's one more, that's Donda. But then there's some other things, there's like a Donda 2, a Donda 3, and then like the Vultures or some shit. And I'm gonna be honest, I just kind of don't want to. Like, I tried listening to Donda. I listened to a few songs, like, man, I don't know if it's just because I'm kind of having a shit day because of my car and the weather, and I'm getting cooked by the Scorpion dude and Monkey Souls. But I am not in the mood to be listening to this. I think this sucks. I do want to give the album another chance. I mean, I finished... Fuck, what was it called? Honestly, never mind. Thank you. And Scorpion. I finished the Drake albums that did absolutely nothing for me. I will give this one another shot, but I don't think I'm going to listen to any of Kanye's other stuff. I'm just gonna leave it as studio albums. I'm not sure who's next. Oh, excuse me, I'll look at my list and we'll see. We'll go as we go, as I like to say. Oh, right, I was like, what the fuck does that say? So I think I mentioned that. Hair in my face, I can barely see. I think I mentioned this last week when I had said last Monday I was trying to learn piano. Like, there were some songs, Collide in particular. It's a song that I've kind of had stuck in my head lately. It's a song I've always loved. I was like, I want to know how to play this. I want to know how to play this song. There's some Coldplay songs in there too. And I was watching piano tutorials and trying to look at sheet music. I'm like, okay, cool. So the tutorials don't like list the keys the way that this piano does. And that does not help me because I know nothing about piano. And like looking at the sheet music, I'm like, cool, I don't know what any of this shit means. But I did find a tutorial for Claire de Lune that has the keys in there, just like kind of talking through it. I had a short session where I was kind of messing around with it, and I was like, okay, I'm only doing like a few notes here, but I'm kind of starting to click with it. And I want to get back on that. I don't know when. I would like to do, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. It's one of those things where I don't know when, but I really, really want to like buckle down and try to work on this. Okay, so in terms of writing, so with Orichalcum, I had 5 chapters left. Now I have 4 because I finished one. I think it was yesterday. No, I think it was the day before. So if today's Wednesday, I think that's Monday, I finished a chapter. And then Tuesday, I kind of sat down, I was like, okay, the next chapter is the other part of the climax. And I think it's going to be like pretty long. And I have an idea of some of the shit that happens, but I don't know a lot of the specifics. And this is a chapter that I'm writing from scratch, unlike most of the stuff that I've been doing, because it was already written. I'm mostly doing edits and then kind of adding some shit here and there. Like, man, I feel really overwhelmed by this chapter. I just kind of huh? Oh, right, it's trash. Sorry, I just saw this big-ass truck. I'm like, what the fuck is it do? Oh, right, our trash already got picked up. I think it's taking up some other people's. Okay, anyways, where was I? Orichalcum from scratch. Got it. So, I've been feeling really nervous about this chapter for a while. I was kind of dreading getting to it. And so yesterday, I just kind of sat down and said, okay, Start from the top. What happens? It's from this character's perspective. What is she doing at the start? Boom, boom, boom. Okay. Then what happens after that? Well, probably this. Okay, then what about here? Well, probably that. And I was able to get the chapter outlined. I haven't started writing it yet. I'd like to. Again, it's kind of like with the Claire de Lune thing. It's like soon-ish. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. Maybe it won't be till next week. I don't know. But I'm now have gone from, I want to write it, but I don't want to write it, to like, I can't wait to write it. And then when that's done, there'll be 3 left. And we're so close. I almost fucking taste it. Which means at that point, we'll be back into Severance. So I actually did a couple pages of Severance the other day. I was just like, I don't have my computer with me, but I have Clay's and I can get a couple pages done. And it felt good to kind of get back into it, to make some progress. I think next time I have a session, it'll be a longer session. I also got some art recently, not from our usual artist. Like I've said, they've been kind of busy with a lot of stuff lately, so it's been kind of on the back burner. But I had some art commissioned by another artist of my favorite character from the story. I'm like, this looks so good. It's so cool. Like, I just felt so giddy and excited. Like, that was Friday morning. Like, I woke up Friday morning and was like, hell yeah. Well, this is a great fucking start. Fuck yeah, November. And then by the end of the day, my car was fucked. I was like, man, fuck November. As I'm thinking about it, with the terrible weather we've had, we really have had some November rain. So that. Let's talk about the Saints. The Saints lost to the Panthers. And there was a point during the game where I just said to myself, we are actually going to lose this, aren't we? And then we did. The coach was fired. And I was saying at the end of the year last year, Dennis Allen needs to be fired. I made a video about it. I made a very irate, incensed, passionate video about how I no longer wanted this man being the head coach of the team. And as this year has gone on, that opinion has not changed. However, I feel like it is important to say the following things. Number one, he was a very good defensive coordinator for us. It's not like all of his tenure with the team was terrible and I hated him for it, because like the good things were really good and I want to appreciate him for that. Number two, I have no ill will or ill bearing toward Dennis Allen as a man, as a person. At the end of the day, this is a human being and he lost his job. That does suck. And yes, I can acknowledge I am an asshole for calling for a man to be fired. That all being said, I am glad he is no longer the head coach of the team. I think Mickey needs to go too, our general manager. I wish nothing but the best for DA going forward in his future endeavors, whether that is a coach in the NFL, in college, if he retires. Hope he does well. And if Mickey ends up being fired or steps down and resigns, wish the best for him as well. So yesterday, as a Saints fan, was very hard. We traded Marshawn Lattimore, who is one of our best players. He's been our top corner for the past, since 2017, 2018? What was that draft? I think that was the 2017 draft. And it's very bittersweet to see him go. As this has been like I said, one of our best players. I love watching this dude play. Like, the never-ending beef with Mike Evans is TV gold. I love watching that shit. I look forward to Bucks games because of Lattimore v. Evans. And seeing him go, that one hurts. And I know a lot of other Saints fans feel the same way, because I've seen people's reactions on Twitter where the general consensus is, I'm glad, because this means we get some tools to possibly rebuild. We get more picks, and we're dog shit right now. We need that. he can go to a contender, because right now the commies are 7-2. They're looking pretty dang good. And maybe he can go be on a contender and win something. I don't think they're going to... at some point, Chris and I are going to do a video. I think either this weekend or next week. Either like right before this upcoming slate of games or right after them. I think we're going to do our next video. My Super Bowl pick right now is still the Lions. I think I had said at the start of the year. I said either the Niners or the Lions from the NFC. I think I went with the Lions. They seem like the best bet right now. The commies could do it. But I do still think I'm going to roll with Detroit. But hey, if the Commanders win a ring and I get to see Marshawn Lattimore win a ring, I am going to be very happy. I kind of feel the same way about Denver. Not the Broncos, but the Nuggets. OKC's looking really good right now. Last time I checked, they were undefeated. I think they were like 7-0 the last time I looked. I want them to win a ring. That's my fucking team. But if it's not us and it's the Nuggets, that means Westbrook gets a ring. And I would be ecstatic to see Russell Westbrook get to be a champion. Oh, and speaking of being a Saints fan, the Pope had a tweet yesterday, which is just a weird sentence in general. Like, yeah, Pope Francis was tweeting. Like, it sounds like the start of a joke, and I guess it's about to be a joke. But, he was tweeting, and he was saying something about the Saints. And it was, about, like, the Saints, and as, like, the Catholic Saints, and, something about peace and love. I don't remember exactly, but he does hashtag Saints, and it creates the hashtag for the New Orleans Saints. And literally the first comment I see is like, damn, even the Pope is happy we fired Dennis Allen. And there are so many good responses about it. It's like, damn, His Holiness is spoken. We about to run the table and shit like that. Right now, what's his name? I don't remember his first name, but the interim coach is our special teams coordinator. I believe the last name is Rizzy, so they've been calling him Riz and Coach Riz. I don't know how to feel about this. Just in the sense, not like the fact that his name is Coach Riz, just do I want him to do super well and be the spark that really gets the team going and we can actually make a run? And we only have for 2-7. It's not like we're good. It's not like we're really going anywhere. But the season's not done. And I've seen a lot of seasons where a team will start strong and then they'll fall off. And then you'll see a team that's 4-6, 3-6 or some shit go on a run and make the playoffs. There's the part of me that says, I want this guy to do super well, and we cook, whether he stays the coach or we get Belichick or Ben Johnson or something next year. There's the other part of me that says, let's just suck and have a really good pick and use that really good pick or trade down and get a lot of other really good picks. I think right now we have the number 3. So there is a non-zero chance, depending how things play out, we could have the number 1 overall pick, which is super interesting. It's all right, do we believe in Derek Carr? I'm going to be honest. I don't think there's any Saints fan that does. Do we believe in Rattler? I don't think so, but it's also early. Who knows? Would it be better to trade down the number 1 overall pick to someone else and stockpile? And then maybe if we can grab Travis Hunter or something, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I had said I want to enjoy the ride while it lasts. The ride lasted 2 fucking weeks, but it was a really good ride. As fucked up as it is, like I said, I am glad to see the team part ways with DA. But I genuinely wish him all the best in his future endeavors. So, a couple other things that I want to say. Number 1, I forgot to bring this up earlier. So I had mentioned last week, there's that girl I really like that I was like, hey, I want to take you out on a date where we can watch something. And the interpretations I had and the response or the lack thereof, I still have not heard back. Thought I would just make a quick update on that. She is usually a pretty slow responder. It's not uncommon for me to not hear from her in like a week or so. So I don't think that's necessarily like a bad sign. It just is what it is. Just got to be patient. That's how things are. That's how, yeah, it's fine. Sorry, that sounded really like, yeah, it's fine. I'm like, no, it's fine. It is what it is. I am looking forward to hearing from her, regardless of what she has to say. There's that. So the last thing I want to bring up is I had this really, to me, it was a really fun interaction with Jose on Monday. So I was on my computer. I remember what I was doing. I want to say I was finishing up that chapter, but I was doing something. And Jose is walking, because that's something he does. Like, he'll pace around the house, get a little bit of exercise, and while listening to music. And as he's walking, I just hear him, I don't care about that. And I just thought to myself, is he singing Buddy Holly? Hey, Jose, are you listening to Buddy Holly? And he has this look on his face, like he's so happy that I was able to tell, but so shocked at the same time. And it was this really neat little interaction. And then I just had Buddy Holly stuck in my head the whole rest of the day. And not even the whole song, just the, oh, I look just like Buddy Holly. Just that line, not even the uh-oh and your Mary Tyler Moore part. Just I look just like Buddy Holly. And then it was either a little before that or a little after. I don't remember when, but it was the same day. At one point, he just says to me, he's like, hey, you are loved and you are appreciated. I'm like, oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Also, playing your umbrella in Skullgirls hurts my hands. And I got a good kick out of that. I think I said this last week. It was like, as much as I love playing umbrella and having a main, I love having a main that he fucking hates, because after years of playing his Ness in Smash, now he gets to understand. And I'm going to be honest, we played some Skullgirls yesterday. I was getting cooked. I just could not do shit with Umbrella, with the other characters. It was just one of those sessions where I just didn't have it. It is what it is. It sucks. It was really frustrating, but it happens. And by the way, I did finally get my Skullgirls shirt in. It is my umbrella shirt, the maximum salt, when it rains, grab an umbrella. And I think it's neat as hell. I actually really like this shirt. Sorry, it started actually to get kind of warm in here. But we are getting to the end of the video. So, 27, damn, this one's actually been short. I feel like the last few weeks been like an hour. This one isn't even half an hour. We will fucking take that. We like being efficient. But, like I said, tomorrow's it's kind of a big day for my family. I'm really not going to go into any specifics right now. So I just wanted to get the weekly video done. If it is a little early, like I said, that's weird. Hopefully I don't have to do that next week. Don't have any wood to knock on. I guess I can knock on cardboard. That feels weird too. Anyways, that's it for CTW. I'll see you.